Good morning, good morning. It is, let's see, what does it say over there? 25 to 10, I think is the time. Doesn't the blue on that wall look stunning? My daughter the other day said, Mum, it looks a little bit 1950s. Okay. So I'm just going down to the post box to collect my mail, if indeed there is any mail. Come on, Jack. No, just... Okay. I've got a little plate of food there on top of the car, which is very much for the birds. I didn't want Jack to get his nose stuck into it. So I was perusing social media this morning as I was drinking my coffee. I got a bit fed up with it and then went over to the tunnel. It's just spitting with rain a little bit now. But anyway, the one thing that really popped out at me was all these comments and all these posts saying that there was hardly any bees around and the sound of the birds, was... Oh, there we go. There's a bee. Just as I spoke. So there's probably water on the lens now. And I was just gobsmacked. I just sat there with my mouth hanging open, saying, well, talking out loud, talking to myself as I do. Gosh, people need to come to Bealtaine Cottage to hear the bees and to hear the birds and to see them and see all the other wildlife. People just are not connecting at all. They are not connecting the two simple facts together, that you've got to get out and plant for the bees and the birds. I mean, that's what I've been doing for just over 15 years now. And as a consequence of all the planting I've done on these 3 acres and all the tending and all the continual nurturing of it, you can hear the health. And this is what I've said on videos earlier this year. Listen, you can hear it. You can hear the health. I think the spitting rain has stopped, so I'm going to just carry on down. But people are beginning to get a bit panicked. That's what I feel. Look at all... I'll have to clean the lens. Excuse me while I just lift the hem of my skirt and clean this lens. Okay. I'm wearing like a linen dress today. Right, I think that's done it. So here, for example, people complain, oh, I can't drive up your driveway because there's things hanging over it. Yes, look, lots of buddleia. Am I going to cut it back? Am I hell? Cut it back. What's more important? Some silly car getting up the driveway, or the butterflies enjoying the buddleia and the bees enjoying the buddleia? You see, this is where the whole environmental scene falls flat on its face. Despite the best intentions, dots are not being connected. Too many armchair warriors, not enough earth nurturers. Just noticed all this beautiful self-heal. Isn't that lovely? It's coming up everywhere at the moment. There's this lovely succession of plants that come up here at Bealtaine. So virtually all the year round there is good forage for the bees. So there's been rain over the past few days. It's been wonderful, by the way. I've got all the spring water flowing into the tank in the loft. So I was able to light the stove yesterday and just keep it on low. Just keep it on low and have all the hot water then in the tank and the kettle boiling on the stove. It was wonderful. Just wonderful. Just stand underneath this fuchsia here because it's still spitting and you can see the bees. This is a real food corridor, this driveway. Oh, just as I'm standing here, I'm hearing bees on the other side there. There's a little one. So I wanted to take you down to the bottom of the drive anyway because I wanted to show you the beautiful hebees that's now in flower. Isn't that lovely? And beside it the hypericum. And then up above, and I'm going to stand underneath this fuchsia before I tilt the camera up. You see lots of buddleia. Look, right up through the trees there. Just growing from that little boggy bit. I mean, buddleias don't normally grow well in boggy bits at all, you know, but it's beautiful to be able to see the buddleia just carving out little niches for itself everywhere. Just hearing more bees. And then down here by the gate, this is what I wanted to show you. All the lovely Shasta daisies have come out. Aren't they lovely? And spirea, pink spirea. So, despite the mizzle, it's not quite a drizzle, it's a mizzle. I'm going to just zoom along here quickly as I want to show you where I planted all that hypericum. Now you probably do remember the little bits of hypericum that I pulled up in the gravel and I potted on. They were just on the edge of the veranda and I grew them from about February onwards and fed them well. They got very big for their pots. So here, look, I've planted 1, 2, 3, 4 in there and another one up here. See? So they should grow into quite big shrubs. And you can see my little roadside verge mowed with my little hand mower. And there's another bit of buddleia coming up there and flowering. See the yellow loosestrife? I love these perennials that just sort of clump out, you know, and they spread. And then down here, a few more Shasta daisies that I dug up and I sort of separated and planted on. And this beautiful big sort of bank of Michaelmas daisies growing round the telegraph pole. Telegraph, that's an ancient term for it, isn't it? Electric pole. And telegraph pole does nicely. So let me just check my No, nothing in there. And virtually no mail now for, well, this is the 3rd week. Usually I get mail almost every day. Listen to those bees. Sort of not quite dive bombing me, but zooming past, very close. No, it's still mizzling. The pond has almost disappeared, look. So I'll have to get in there and do a lot of clearing. I'll do that, I think, in September. I think having the pondweed on the top of it has preserved the life in it, you know. It's kept the water cool. You know, it seems that every day that I go onto social media, the sort of general outlook, the sort of general prognosis for Mother Earth, from what I'm reading anyway, seems to get worse. And then I step out into Bealtaine and everything seems to be better. I mean, what's going on? I'm actually feeling more and more cut off from the world. It's the most bizarre feeling. I mean, you can hear it. Everything sounds perfectly well in here. Sometimes I feel as though there's like an invisible dome over Bealtaine. There's lots and lots of birds now going into the clematis around the cottage, and I think there's even a nest in there. And I think as well, because there's so much planting around the walls of the cottage, of course that's where a lot of the insects are at their most comfortable. So of course the birds come right up to the walls of the cottage and, you know, seek out the insects. So there's this continual food there for them. I mean, there's virtually nothing at the moment in the little bird feeder there outside the kitchen window. There's just the remnants of some seeds. But what I find the birds do is they come to the feeder and they sort of perch on there, and then they fly right up close to the kitchen window to pick up little insects. So you see that mantra that I was putting out there all these years, you know, the mantra, plant like your life depends on it, for it does. And also plant for the bees and the birds, and then plant for yourself. It's worked perfectly. I mean, listen to this. That beautiful Boston ivy has finally taken hold on the wall. So that's going to cover the cottage along with the variegated ivy and all the other plants I have in there, including Virginia creeper and clematis. And that's going to be an amazing feeding zone for all kinds of life. So you see, even if I didn't have 3 acres, even if all I had was a 3-foot space all the way around the cottage, you can imagine how much life can be attracted to doing vertical planting. Oh, my little beds over there are coming on well. I can see more water on the lens. Sorry about that, folks. And more buddleia there on the end of the rustic bed. And I've deadheaded and removed all the dying plants from here, you know, all the annuals, giving it a bit of a clean up. Look at all the berries on this. I mean, that's going to be the most amazing amount of food for the blackbirds over the winter. So, on that note, let me see, how far have I gone up to here, time-wise. She says, looking through rain-speckled glasses that were sat on my head. About 17 minutes. Okay, so I shall upload this. Don't know if you can see the rain falling just out there. It is a rather beautiful day. Blessings to you all.